Hello everybody, Archie here with another top 10. This time it's top 10 my suggestion for new cards. So yeah, I think this has happened pretty much everyone. You play some game, especially games such as Hearthstone, you may get idea for cards. So this is what I do here. I mean, I'm doing my best to create cards which are really not necessarily original, but something which I wanna see in the game. And I this time I actually they are not based on from which I like the less to what I like more. They are sort based on their value. So uh, number 10 be like one crystal card, and then I go slowly up and increase the power, which kinda it's maybe a little confusing, but I feel like starting with the weakest card and end with the strongest is a good idea. I use this thing which is called card generator, which is really useful tool. Unfortunately, I was unable change the size of the card, so maybe will be a little pixelated, and all cards here are minions, so maybe I can do later same thing with the weapons, spells, secret, or whatever. There's multiple different options what I can do, but I personally like to use lots of minions, so here is my dedication for minions. Okay, let's do this. Number 10. Okay, we opening with the Shadow Terror. So I think this card is good for start, and as you can see, it's really similar to Shadow of Noxermathers. Hopefully, I say that correctly. It's pretty much same card, but obviously with a few changes. Obviously, first thing, it's much cheaper. Second, its starting abilities are really low, but for this price, you cannot possibly expect anything better. But over time, grow on strength, and I think it's great card for if you can play it in your first round. Another difference is obviously it's getting stronger only long as his stealth activated. So when you attack, you lose your stealth, and then it don't get stronger anymore. But I think for first round, you cannot possibly get better card than this one. Then again, it's really important thing is when you decided to attack, because timing is really important here. So yeah, Shadow Terror. Number 9. Okay, I know this card may seems to be maybe a little too strong, but yeah, I actually like idea get some strong cards really early. So basically, what this card do, if isn't obvious, if you have some remaining mana crystal and you end the round, and this card basically absorb them. And if you absorb enough crystals, then basically become a crystal cost minion, which I think is good. But then again, keep in mind, even if this card can seems to be a little too strong, like I said, keep in mind you need 10 mana crystals total to use it. And um, obviously, I don't know. I don't know if actually I can see the card here is really small. Basically, I don't know if I add this in the text because, like I said, I can see this really small, so I really can't tell. But obviously, you cannot heal this card, and you cannot increase its hit points from outside. So if you play like, for example, like a priest, and you cannot do this, there will be something probably like cannot be targeted by spells or something like this, I don't think I actually mentioned this in the description of the card, but this is how I imagine. Basically, idea is recycle all your unused mana crystals, then summon something awesome. Because I think there really isn't many legendaries with this price. Most of the legendary is like 5 or more crystals. So I think it's really nice to have some low level legendary as an option. And I think this card is really powerful and same time actually legit, even if it may not look at legitimate, but I think in real it is. So yeah, Mystic Egg. Number 8, Mana Recycler. Oh yes, this card looks is another example of card which again look really strong, but in reality it's not. This card is pretty much based on questing adventure because if you can see it have really similar stats because every time if you play card questing adventure get +1/+1 which is pretty much worth of 1 crystal. So I think this card is in reality actually weaker because you get crystal only if you get spells, not any card, and also that is only 50% of chance this happened. So, but I think it's still really useful card because unlike questing adventurer who get bonus only for himself, you can do this like you can do this for everything. And there is actually one thing which I forget to mention in the description of the card. Obviously, for obvious reasons, cards cannot be activated uh, if you play Crystal itself, because this is basically count as a spell, but if you can do this, then I think that'd be probably a little OP. I mean, maybe this card need a little of tweaking, maybe it's supposed to be stronger or maybe weaker, I'm not sure, but I feel the card is how it is really useful and it's definitely for somebody who has a lot of spells and you can interact with a bunch of other cards like Manaverm or like I said, this probably is most useful for mages. But yeah, I really like an idea for card which can do something like this. So yeah, Mana Recycler. Number 7. Okay, I'm really actually proud on this card. It is basically card which can upgrade any your existing card and make it about 4 crystals more higher, which really don't seems like a big deal, especially because you get some random card. But think about it this way: if you are lucky and you are someone in round 4 and you have like one 3 crystals card on a board and a card almost dying or it's silence or something, and you can use this card and you can basically get it in a full strength and then you get 7 cost card in the round 4, which is pretty big deal even if this card is randomly generated, and also this card can interact with things such as death rattle or um, some things like if you combine this card with, for example, Kel'Thuzad or something which can revive the card, then you can get some pretty sweet effects here. So I think it's this card really by its function seems to be like really simple, but in real it's really powerful card, and I'm really proud on this one. So yeah, it's basically upgrade card. So there's nothing too much, and which I can say about this card. But yeah, I really wish this one probably. If I sort card based on like which one I wanna see game in game more than the others, then this one be probably on the first place. Number 6. You know, when I start playing Hearthstone, when I was real beginner, I was really annoyed by silence, and I get idea for this card for a really long time. I really like idea of card which basically represents some angry dude who like screaming, and because of this cannot be silent because he's simply too loud. Now when I think about it, then he probably can be even downed. That will actually make a lot of sense. But yeah, this card is really simple by its use, but again, it's really useful because it's immune to silence, and if silence is used, then it's get pissed and get bonus on attack, which I really like this as a concept. It's really simple, yet kinda self-explaining. Yeah, something like this really need to be in game. I really like this. Oh yes. Number 5. Okay, when I created this one, I was actually stuck for some time. And yeah, I actually have this idea of basically this huge spider who's spawning a small one. And if they are killed, and basically get pissed. So original idea was a little different, but I think it's actually interesting minion. Obviously, this card is pretty much modified Hogger. If you check its abilities, is really similar, but at the same time, it's different. There's also interesting interaction with this card and card two crystal card Haunted Creeper who generating some extra spectral spiders. So if you combine these two cards together, you can get some really nice effects. And there is obviously a hidden joke. If you can find out what this joke is, then I can give you a little hint. I can say she cares about her children a lot because she is really responsible. Get it? Responsibility? Uh, oh, maybe not. Okay, I don't think it's super funny, but if you get that joke, good for you. So yeah, this is basically a concept of mother who get pissed off when they its childrens are dead, and that's happened really easily because they are one minion. So yeah, I think that's really interesting minion, and it has some use. That's for sure. Number 4. And we start to move the really strong card. I think this card is really obvious how it's work. It seems to be maybe a little too powerful because it gets some really powerful effects. But if you compare this card to some other cards, such as I don't know, as I already mentioned, questing adventure get +1/+1 every time if you play the card. This one has same thing, but also recover 4 hit points, which seems to be a little too much. But keep in mind, this card, get this, only if kill enemy, if give it a little hit, which really doesn't happen too frequently. And also, it must be non-totem and non mech, because obviously his concept is here he basically killing enemies and eat their souls, which make him stronger, and because of this then get bonuses. Obviously mechs and totems have no souls, so he cannot get any minions. But I think it's still really interesting concept. Like its starting damage is nothing special, but hit points are high, so it's definitely really important. Really nice minion, and the best thing which you can do if somebody play this kind of cards against you, destroy it fast as you can. Otherwise, you are in big trouble. Then again, it really depends which card you have. If you have a bunch of mechs, then it's beneficial for you. Or if you play as a shaman and have a bunch of totems, there is also many totemic shamans as well. But I really like an idea of a minion who, as kill its enemies, it's getting stronger, and yeah, I really like it. I don't know why. Number three, Ice Terror, another card which make me stuck for some time. So this card really don't look like anything amazing, especially with compare some other cards. But if you think about it, it's really powerful because every time if you play card, any card, and it casts spell Iceland on random enemy target, which if this enemy isn't already frozen, then it's become frozen, and if already is frozen, then take a 4 damage. It is kind of randomized, but if you have, especially if you play with lots of freezing cards, then this card can be absolutely devastating. And it's really difficult to play against this card because it's constantly make your minions frozen. And only thing which kind of balance this card and make it not too strong is the fact it's have a randomized target, so you never know who will be hit. So it is kind of luck based, which is something which I don't like. But in this case, I think it's a good mechanic for make cards card balance, and it's really useful card which depends how you play, and probably it's really strong for a mage because mage have a bunch of free spells, so he can constantly freeze you, and that can increase the dangerousness of this card. I don't know if there is such a word like a dangerousness, but I really don't care. Number two. Yeah, I think this card really don't need too much explaining. I really need idea of cards which is uh, able to take hit without getting any damage back. So this card is obviously really strong, and still it can be destroyed. It's like probably your best bet is polymorph or silence, because with silence you can remove divine shield and stop its ability to get another one. And without it, it's just a little overpriced card. But if this card is used, then it's obviously really strong. And yeah, I don't think there's too much which I can say about this card because it's kind of self-explaining, explanatory, or explain whatever. Number one of my most favorite card in entire game, at least with minions, is a questing adventure, because it's not really good card, but it's really well explained what adventure is. It is adventurer who get quest, and how as he get quest, he get experience and get stronger, which is pretty much how this card works. What only problem is its initial stats are really low, and this card can die really quickly. But question is, what happen if adventurer survive all danger of low levels? Well, he become its own legend. He reached this legendary status, and this is pretty much what this card is about. So obviously this card has exact same abilities like a questing adventure, except has much bigger cost and better stats. And it has another ability which basically activate your other minions inspired ability when this minion attack, because he's legend after all, so his actions kinda encourage the other minions to doing their best, and that's his idea behind this card. For card of this price, its stats are really not that good. But then again, if you realize what this minion do, then I think it only makes sense because if they are bigger, then it will be probably a little OP, and I really wanna keep what cards do in on a level where they are properly cost. So I really like idea of this. Basically, it's a hero who get this legendary status and become its own legend. That's his idea behind this card. And I actually think there's this one thing which I forget, and will be probably nice if this card have this little aesthetic thing. Basically, Butler Cry, which cost after you play this card, its name is changed from legendary zero hero to basically copy your username. So basically, it would be hero, which is named after you. I think that would be really really cool. So yeah, legendary hero. So yeah, that was my 10 suggested card with minions. And obviously most of them are legendary or epic. And as I said, I probably, well maybe I do, maybe I not do same thing with weapons or spells. Or probably only with spells because I really don't use weapon that much and I think I like most use minions and then spells. Spells provide more options, so we will see. Maybe I do spells as well. Obviously, most of the cards here are inspired by other existing cards. I really don't try and say I didn't do that because that is not true. Most of them are inspired from existing cards, at least in a term of their basic function or stats. But yeah, it would be really nice if maybe somewhere some feature where people can suggest art like this, and then maybe Blizzard can choose the best and add in the next expansion, so people have basically chance their suggestions maybe get in the game if they be good enough. That would be awesome. Unfortunately, right now there is no such a feature, so I can only dream, and at least I can do videos like this, so I can at least suggest things. So I hope you like these cards. If you have some other idea or you think some of these cards are OP or not enough strong, leave me some comments. I really like to hear some feedback because this is creative process. So I just want to know what people think about this. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Let me know. So yeah, I think I'm done here, and as always, thanks for your time, and I will see you later.